Beloved, thank you for clicking on this video. I pray that the Lord bless you such that your money and time spent watching will not be wasted. I pray above all things that you will prosper in health, even as your soul prospers. Let me appreciate your comments and your motivation with regards to the first edition of this same project. I praise the Lord and pray that He will always grant us life to continue. Today I want to share with you a very simple message back to Genesis, back to our origins, back to the beginning of all things. Do you believe our world has a beginning and a beginner? Do you believe our world has a perfect designer, one who designed? And on this point, I always agree with Saint Thomas Aquinas, a Christian philosopher who, in his defense to the existence of God, mentioned one that caught my attention. He says that if you consider the design in creation, there is no doubt the world has a creator who is a designer in himself. And I want to point to you that designer is God. Our world was created by a finest divine mind and power beyond human imagination. If you would have time to reflect on series of creative arts, not even to read the Bible in its entirety, but you really realize that nature is indeed declaring the existence of God and His glory. I have always pondered over the 6 days creation, and let me share with you that God created this world in 6 literal days, not 6,000 years. A night and a day, night and a day, night and a day, 6 of this. And in any of these days, God did something so spectacular. I want to, in a summary, share with you what really transpired. And this account is simply in Genesis chapter 1, of which the author begins by saying that in the beginning, God created heaven and the earth. Our world survives and rides not on coincidence, not on accident, but actually by a divine hand and sustenance. Your existence in life is planned. You were made perfect according to God's own image. In day 1, the Lord comes in and says, the world is darkness. Darkness prevails. Now let there be light. And indeed, my Bible tells me, as soon as God said this in the verse 3 of Genesis chapter 1, there was light. You watching me, I pray that if you really believe in this God, may the darkness in your life turn to light as you allow God to speak into it. It is fascinating to know that in the day 2, the Lord set an expanse between the heavens and the earth. And by this, we have the firmament, the beautiful skies, the clouds that we see. On the second day, my God did it. I pray that if your life is such crumbled, may the Lord set an expanse to allow you a space to do more. I want to share with you that on the 3rd day of creation, another thing happened. As the day opened with a land that was filled with water below, the Lord called all the water, gathered it at one side, and called that sea. Upon that, a bare land also appeared and began giving grasses. I pray that upon your belief in this God, claiming His power of creation, may any water covering your bare land be gathered to one side to reveal your true nature, and you will begin bearing fruit. On the 4th day, the Lord did something so wonderful in the skies, setting the luminaries, the sun, the moon, the stars. I don't know whether you've wondered who sustains this, because they are hanging, yet they never fall, and they are giving life and light every day. It is my prayer that the Lord sets at the right place in your life the light to lead you. On the 5th day, the same Genesis account has it that the Lord went back and filled the skies and the seas with creatures. Birds began flying upon his command. Fishes began swimming upon his command. What is lacking in your life? Believe in this designer, and I want to tell you, in his own perfect wisdom, your life is going to be fruitful. You are going to fly, you are going to swim. On the 6th day, something wonderful again. Probably quite early in the day, the Lord created the land beast out of the earth, the dust of the earth. Genesis chapter 2 verse 19 records this so plain, that the Lord out of the ground of the earth formed every beast of the field. After this, my God did not end there, because he had you in mind. He was thinking about you. By the same ground, by the same dust, the Lord now thinks and brings out, fashions out, designs out another artifact, to call that artifact man. He had already created all other things according to their own kindness, animals according to their own kindness, dog after dog's kindness, cat after cat's kindness, sheep, lion after their own kindness. But you know what? Genesis chapter 1 verse 26. This is what the Bible says concerning you and myself. And God said, now let us make man in our image. We are not ordinary commodity. Believe in this. We are in the image of God. And I am ready to share with you much as to what it means to be in the image of God. By this, I am perfectly designed after a divine wisdom. I am not just an ordinary commodity on the market. I hold specialty in the face of God. I am such unique among the creatures of God. Of course, I possess his image after his own likeness. I am not after my family's likeness, for which reason their fears should threaten my future. I am not after my parents' likeness, for which reason their failures should be my portion. I am not after the destiny and created after the image of Africa, for which reason our numerous woes should be my fear. But I believe that I am also made in the image of God. This God is a conqueror. This God is a victor. This God has overcome. I believe I am an overcomer, for I want to claim this power that I am perfectly and wonderfully made in his image. I pray that you understand this. Begin to reflect and claim the power of your Creator, for he really made you special after his own kindness. You hold high position and office in his hand. All are in your custody as a good steward. Searching on earth, you have been appointed as God's steward. What a privilege to serve him in this capacity. I pray that you sit back again, ponder over this, and claim the power of the Creator. The Lord bless you till we see ourselves again. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to share.